Alright, let me start with the context of this video. So I hope you can hear me. What happened is that I have a recorder, but unfortunately I didn't charge the batteries, so that's out. So anyway, the context is, to be honest, my bike riding started quite late. It was almost like late 20s when I started to enjoy bike riding. Yes, I did like bikes, but till date I've driven more miles in the car than in the bike, so that is some context there. Anyway, so in this video I want to talk about like the difficulties that car drivers face on the road from bike riders. Please do not take this as a criticism or something. So it's just that some things I've always observed. One of the main things that I would like to start with is that the blind spot of a car. So I'm not sure whether the camera captures this, but there is a mirror here, mirror there, and a mirror there. But there are some sections which those mirrors cannot capture. So first of all, to the car drivers, so set the mirrors right. There is no other way. Please set the mirrors right, and then the rest of the things we'll see about that. Anyway, so coming back to the bike, so there are blind spots. So in situations where you're overtaking a car, just make yourself visible. Do not come right behind the car and right at the corners, like left side or right side. I know that we overtake along the left side over here, so it's sometimes difficult, but there is no other goes. Look at people like this. So they are over to that side in this traffic situation, and in such situations bikes are forced to overtake through the left side. So I can understand that, but still, when you're overtaking a car, do not come across the corners of the car. So just make yourself visible in the car's mirror. There are some idiots who do not even open up the mirrors and keep it folded. So I don't know about those guys, so I'm not making any blame or fault to anyone. I hope you understand that. So and I can't stop blabbering, it seems. So that's the first thing I want to say. And a small honk. Do not honk aggressively like beep, and that's quite maddening, because sometimes we'll not even know where it's coming from. So a small beep to let us know that you're going to overtake or something like that. And for the car drivers, just keep looking in the mirror. Anyway, you can see the mirror. Set the mirror in such a way that if you glance and if you look straight forward, you can see something in the mirror, especially the mirror on your right side. The left side is over there, so it's quite difficult. That I can understand, but still, see, I could, so sorry, I was able to see that scooter go. So set the mirror right. I just set it a little further up so that I can see more clearly. Ironic, right? Okay, anyway, so that's one of the first things. Second thing, after overtaking, go straight. Do not come in front of us. We might be in the process of accelerating. A car driver, by we I mean a car driver. Nowadays I'm riding the bike more, so again, not pointing fingers or anything. So unless you have to do that, do not do that. Please don't weave across the car, because most often when it's an empty road and you are about to overtake, we are also accelerating. The car driver is also accelerating. So in those situations, there can be mishaps. So please don't do that. And for the car riders in this point, let me say that if you see a bike overtaking and you don't have to overtake something else, just let them go. There is no ego involved here. They also have to go to some place. You also have to go to some place. And speaking of going to places, always start your journey early, not late. Even if you reach early by 5 minutes or 10 minutes, nothing is going to happen. You can essentially cool down at that time. So make your journey on time. That's always very important. That should have been tip number 1. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, so essentially don't weave across the road. That's what I was saying. And maybe the other thing is that, like, another thing car drivers find it difficult is overtaking when there is a bike in front. A car requires a lot of space to overtake, and we have to compensate extra for the movement. Let's say, for example, I'm overtaking a bus, then I need to leave some space. So what if he comes across something on his left side and he has to move over to the right side? So in that case, we have to leave some room. So if there is a bike in front, and they are not overtaking, leave room for the car. Just move to the left side. So it will be easier for you and for the car to overtake. And for the car riders, some people tend not to honk. So in India, things are different. Honking is annoying, I do have to say that. But in some situations, a small honk, a small beep, just a blip. I'm not honking now, there is no need. So just a blip and the bike rider will notice you in his mirrors. The thing is that it's unlike in cars, looking at a bike mirror is sometimes difficult. You cannot see in the peripheral vision also. So add a helmet to that and it's a very narrow vision. So just give a small honk. Some people won't like it, but that's my tip. Anyway, so that they'll notice you, so that the bike rider can notice you and move over. Many do move over when I honk, but some people have taken it as a challenging situation, kind of a race or something. So in those cases, just let them go. Be it car or bike or whatever, don't go into any fight and stupid things. You'll waste your time and you'll waste your energy. So that's about stupid people. And in situations like this, just let the other vehicle go. You're not going to lose anything. If you don't let them go, you're essentially causing a traffic block. And another tip to bike riders is that do not underestimate the acceleration of your car. So especially if I'm cruising in first gear now, and if for some reason I want to cover some space quickly, and if I press the accelerator hard, it just shoots. It depends on the car also, but it just blazes off like a bike. So do not underestimate that it's a heavy machine, so it might take some time to go. See, it just goes like that. So that's where the point of weaving also comes in. Do not weave in so immediately, because you'll be caught up in situations like this. And many car drivers also don't know what to do in situations like this. And in narrow roads like this, you will have to keep your senses awake, essentially. And a tip for the car riders, again I'm saying riders, okay, car drivers, so excuse me for that. Anyway, for the car drivers is that leave some space on the right side so that bikes can go. The best thing I've seen on Indian road is when I visited Meghalaya, where there is a huge traffic problem. The roads are narrow, but the car drivers always go through the left side in traffic situations, so that there is a wide open space in the middle where bike riders can go, where ambulance can go, and where anything essential can go. So keep in mind that, and you just saw what happened there, right? She just came in like that. So don't do that. I was accelerating, I had a space in between. She could have gone through there, or she could have just stayed there so that I could have filled the space. So don't weave across like that. So anyway, coming back, okay, so go through the left side. And I'm talking this because unless we all do this, it's going to be stupid. So if I'm the only person doing it, you will be able to see that some other car or some other auto will come and fill this space, and I'll be pushed further back. So which is essentially why I don't go too left or too right, somewhere in the middle, not like that car and not like maybe too left also. So that's a little bit to the right, and I'm not pointing fingers. Oh, this traffic is a nightmare. But it's too hot, and I had to get my monitor repaired, so I had to take the car. Anyway, anything else? Let's see. Yeah, and to the car drivers, just let the bikes go, and I think I've already told that. So then you can stack on and move easily. See, if that car was to the left side, then it would have been easier for these guys to go. I hope you get the point. And look at that white car on the right side. He could have also gone more towards the left on that particular side. So that can essentially save a traffic block instead of creating one. So just let the bike riders go. And please wear a helmet. Please, please, please wear a helmet. Or it could be your last day on the road. It's just madness on Indian roads, and forget about Indian roads. It's madness everywhere sometimes. So please wear a helmet and attach the strap properly. Otherwise, you're almost as good as dead. Maybe you'll be crippled also. So please wear a helmet. I saw an accident recently. One person was wearing a helmet, but he was not strapped to it. The helmet just rolled off. He was not moving, and the pillion was an old person. He didn't have a helmet, and I'm not sure, but I think he lost his life. And the police were there. They were telling us to go, so I couldn't stop and see or anything. And when an ambulance comes, irrespective of what, just move over. Let the ambulance go. And speaking of ambulance, to the bike riders, please don't blaze past cars behind the ambulance, because cars need to get back on road. Most often, as you have seen now, we have to pull out of the road and into the gravel or the mud, or whatever it is, and we need to come back into the tarmac, right? So please don't use that as an opportunity to overtake. You can go behind that. I'm not saying don't use that as an opportunity. It's up to you, but be sensible. Please be sensible. And this applies to other cars also, because some idiots do that. And you're not in a race. I should have written this and talked to you. Anyway, about the previous short I uploaded, which mentioned that I am writing another script about the KTM 250 adventure. It's getting delayed because I have saved the file on a pen drive instead of on the system, and essentially I thought that why do I keep saying essentially? Okay, anyway, I thought that if I had the file with me anywhere, and if I'm having less work, or say if I want to take a small break at work, I could have just connected the pen drive and filled in some words. But that didn't happen, and also the file got corrupted. So I have to start all over again. I do remember some things, so it's good. So that video will be coming, but this will be a filler kind of video, and I hope this will be useful for many. So what else? Anyway, I might have to stop soon there. I have to buy some provisions. So we'll continue after that. If I find something else to say, maybe while shopping or something, I'll get some more ideas. And in situations, when fantastic situation has arisen. So in situations like this, when a bike has to go to the other side, just let them go. Same with car. If nothing is in front of you and many cars are not behind you, just let them go. You're not going to lose anything. Again, you are going to avoid another traffic block. And listen to security people. They know how to park you. Just listen to them. So I'm stopping this right now. We'll continue later. Alright, so I'm done with buying some provisions. A tip for buying provisions: write it down. If possible, take hard cash for the exact amount or the approximate amount and go, so that you don't buy anything extra. I didn't buy anything extra, but I was tempted to. I always am. I have a special fondness for grapes and I always tend to grab them. So okay, in situations like this, just follow the orders of the security person, so that they have more eyes on the road than you have. Alright, so this is another tip. If what is happening? Okay, sorry. I saw a car going backwards, then I understood it was being towed. Okay, anyway, in situations like this, when you're entering the road, bike or car, just look at the road. Please don't assume that they will stop or things like that. See, no looking, just going. So others might have to hit their brakes hard. So once it happened to me, there is a small dent on the back of my car, which was caused by a scooter. Luckily it was not a bike, then I would have had to replace the bumper. So just look before you are entering a road. And if you want to turn somewhere and you're almost reaching that place, do not apply your brakes only. There will be cars and bikes and everything behind you, and it will be a total disaster. So just go further, like maybe 250 meters or half a kilometer forward, and then take the turn instead of causing trouble to other people. And a tip for car riders: if you see a bike coming guns blazing at you from behind in your rear view mirror, give space, please. There is no better way. Don't race him or something. And to those bikers, please go a little bit slow on city roads. Anything can happen. Even in country roads, be careful. So all you need is all you need is a dog jumping right in front of you. Okay, we'll let him go. I'm not always nice like this. Don't mistake me for a nice person. Okay, I'm talking stupid things. It's not like not mistake me for a nice person. What I meant was, okay, I forgot to do something, so I'll have to make some stupid turns. Anyway, coming back to the point. So what I meant was, sometimes I don't give space, mostly when I am hungry or when I am running late and I don't follow what I just preached. Anyway, just like that, everyone is not perfect, right? So if you're having a good day, don't pick up fights. Just go with your good mood. Oh, the turn was not good. And while taking reverse in situations like this, please check behind using your mirrors. And if you have a camera, check that first and then use your mirrors. Please use your mirrors. Don't just rely entirely on the camera. The rear camera has a very narrow vision. You can set it to wide view, but still you will not be able to see the sights and things. I had to come to office to take my other pen drive, which I have used to write some other article. Oh, it was a nightmare. I forgot my pen drive. It's a holiday and I'm coming to office. No, I don't work for LIC. Alright, So I got my pen drive back. I just plugged it in the system. Okay, where should I keep this? So that I don't forget it. Okay, I'll keep it here. Anyway, so I need to drink some water. Health tip: avoid drinking all those juices loaded with sugar, and what do you say, those fizzy drinks. Those are bad for you. And if you feel normal water is very bad, you don't feel like drinking it, take a small wedge of lime, very small, squeeze it in there, maybe even put a pinch of salt, stir it up and drink. It's refreshing. And one more thing, when you are starting your car or bike, if you're feeling a bit tired, like you're out in the sun and coming back into the car, just sit there for 1 minute, cool down, and then go, unless you're in such a big hurry. Let's continue our journey. What I forgot previously was to give my monitor. I don't think it can be fixed, so it's the issue with the panel. The display is flickering. I spent quite some money on that, but it's been how many years since I purchased that? I don't remember. Yeah, I think I purchased that monitor in 2017, but still it's hardly 5 years, so I don't like that. I don't know what happened to that. And when you're leaving roads like this and there are cars or vehicles parked on the side, just move in slowly, very slowly and carefully. There is nothing to lose if you're going slowly, but there is everything to lose if you're going fast. Someone might come and hit you, and you might have to claim your insurance and lose your no claim bonus. Alright, so okay, I have to give the monitor. Okay, what else did I have to say? Maybe I'll make it a 2-part series or something for the things that I've forgotten in this one, but the ones that I might remember while editing this video or something. Whatever. Okay, the next thing is like, this is a free left, so when you're taking a free left, watch and go, please. And when cars are taking a free left, please do not overtake them through the left side, because we want to stick to the left side. Did he hit me? This is another thing. Do not assume that we are going to make a U-turn or we might go straight. Just follow behind us instead of cutting through the right or left side. Please. Now I'm unsure whether he hit me or something. I have to check. Okay, anyway, we are in the service center for Dell. They already told me that it might not be possible to fix that. So meanwhile, let me just check whether he has hit me. Okay, no worries, nothing happened. It might have been some hard braking by someone else and some other sound. Alright, I have given the monitor, but I had to move out of there quickly and I had to make many other turns because of the signals. Anyway, so that's why I couldn't record immediately after coming out. Alright. what else can we say? Yes, about overtaking, and this is for the car riders first. Again, I'm saying car riders, it's for the car drivers first. So if you find space and you're overtaking and there is a bike coming in the opposite side, you'll definitely spook them. There's no doubt. So like 4-5 days before, I was on this exact same road and 3 or 4 cars were overtaking because I think I was going in this direction and there are not much vehicles here, but there are many cars coming from the other side. So the thing with bike riders is that we also have to compensate. So for example, most of the roads are cut immediately after the tar portion. So we have to be somewhere little bit inside the road, not so much outside, because we also need road space for compensation if something happens. So I was not going as much as that guy on the left. I'm not sure whether you can see there is a Hero something bike over there, might be the Splendor. Okay, anyway, so I was not going at that level, but still I was on the side and some cars were coming straight at me, flashing their lights using the pass switch. First of all, why on earth do you flash? Where do you want to go? Do you even understand that? Unless you have space, why do you want to overtake? And they were coming right at me. So I did have some space, but they were overtaking at a very high speed, so they were compensating for the overtaking. I hope you understand that point. So some cars overtake very widely. There will be another space for a bus to pass through. So they were coming like that. Why do you do that? Just overtake at a sensible speed. And do not spook bike riders. So it's just a small step that can make us fall down. So if we compensate for that and we are going off the road and the road is cut, so most bikes are not adventure bikes on road. Most are small bikes, and even if it's not small, even if it's like a quarter liter or a full liter bike and it's like a street sport kind of thing, so if you suddenly make that cut, you will fall down. So please don't spook bike riders. It's very difficult. In the highways also the same thing happen. Already we are under a lot of wind blast, and if you follow closely behind a car, especially in highways, you can find winds passing you and you will be shaking your head like this sometimes. The crosswind kind of things, the dirty air, if you will say, like in F1. And please don't do these kind of stupid things. You are already in traffic and you want to squeeze in there for what? What are you gaining from that, my dude? I'm losing it, sorry. So please don't squeeze in like that, especially with your car. Another idiot is coming, so I'm going to cut him off. There's no need to tolerate this nonsense. Okay, so he's turning right. See, this is why you never should jump to conclusions. Just let him go. My bad. So do not spook bike riders. And the same thing goes with bike riders as well. When you overtake with sensible space. You don't need so much space for a bike. At the same time, don't be so close to a car or another vehicle, because you need room for compensation. But you don't have to compensate in such a way that there is like you can fit 2 cars in between. Absolutely not necessary. You can leave a width of like maybe 3 or 4 bikes in between, but not a car. So 3 or 4 bikes means it's essentially a width of a car. So that's the maximum you can compensate. Unless you are in high speed situations, then maybe compensate a bit more. So don't just overcompensate and start flashing your light at the car guys. The other thing with car is that you need a lot of space to compensate, not just like bike. And if the car is already on the left side, and if there are railings, if it's a broken road, There might be trees, so if it's already on the left side, don't do that. And this is applicable not just for bikes also, but for cars also. Do not overtake like a maniac when there is no space left for the other guy to move over for you. And don't ride like this. And this is not just females riding like this. Don't generalize like that. But if your female friend or your male friend or whoever it is riding like this, and if you are a sensible person sitting as a pillion, please tell them not to ride like this on the middle of the road, because it can be very difficult for others. For example, this auto is going much better so that I can overtake him like this, but it might be difficult to overtake that scooter. And before you turn, look at the rear view mirror, not after you turn. And I think I've already covered this, but keep looking at your mirrors, car drivers. You don't know where people will come from. Even buses can come like crazy. Seriously, they can. They'll barge in through the left side. They have larger wheels. They have much more ground clearance. So they'll just roll you. And they don't care if they hit you or something. Some are like that. Sorry to say that. And ideally, try to keep both your hands on the steering wheel so that you can make quick inputs and control at the same time. Because say you're turning to the left, you have to compensate for that, otherwise you will hit that wall. So if you have the left hand here, then it's easier. You don't have to do this. That will be a stupid way. Instead you can do it more in a controlled manner. I've seen many people relax on the highways with their hands just keeping like this. You can do that sometimes, but try to keep both hands on the wheel, because that's better. Just relax on the steering wheel. Sorry, I have to go. See, I told you, right? Sometimes I'll not let people go because I'm stuck here. Okay, another thing, and when you're stopping like this and bikes are coming at you from all sides, leave some space so that they can get inside. What if a bus comes from the other side? They have to move right. And if you already leave some space, they can easily move through. I've already spoken about this. Sorry if I'm being repetitive. I didn't prepare a script for this, as I mentioned before. Okay, so if you have any points or tips or something, do leave it in the comments. And if I had made some mistake, please tell me that also. If you would like a video about the car, this is Honda City, and it's the 2018 model which I own, and Honda still sells this model. I think you might know. So if you would like a review or some tips or something about this particular model, and maybe even a review, a long-term review. It's been 28,000 kilometers on this car, and I'm getting a good fuel economy of like 15.6 on an average. So earlier it was like mostly highway drives before I got transferred here due to job. So at that time, when I was covering highways a lot, I used to get 16.2, 16.3. So now it has reduced a bit with all this traffic. So if you would like to know more about car also, I'll be happy to post. And essentially my channel's name is Wheels on Tarmac, and the idea was that about travels, all means of travels. Oh, that's a nice bike. Kawasaki Z900. Okay, another situation is during these turns. See, there are people who can turn in cars like bikes, not saying as perfectly as bikes, but people who keep the line. So please don't assume that everyone will go to the left while taking right turns. Some will turn. I tend to turn, I prefer to turn properly in the lane. So in those situations also, do not try to cut in through the right side, so it will end in an accident. Well, that's about it almost. I saw a Honda City there where they de-chromed it, and just now it passed. They de-chromed it and made the logo in red color, so that was good. I was also trying to do that, but I'll think about it. Nowadays I think a lot before spending money. See, why do you do this? Are you going right or are you going left? Please don't do this. Don't stay in the middle of the road. I cannot overtake you through the left side. It's impossible, and it's not clockwise. You have every right to move in towards the left. And at the same time, I cannot overtake you through the right side that easily. See, I have to go this much. But if you have moved over to the left side, I would have had an easier overtake. And your indicator is on. Please check that always. In car there is a sound. You get a small sound if you put on your indicator. But in bikes, you just have to make it a habit of using the indicator and just turning it off. So keep in mind about that also, because when you're in a car, you have to notice everything. And indicators are things that sometimes give us confused. I don't know what to say. I hope you get it. I'm hungry, so nothing is coming out of my mouth properly. Okay, so I'm about to reach. So see you guys in the next video, and the next video will definitely be about the first service of KTM 250 and those things which I promised in the previous shots that I uploaded. So, okay, take care, drive and ride safe. Always wear your helmet, at least your helmet, and also use some better things other than some sandals. Bye.